musician anymore. Why? Because they've made them from years and years and years, and they know they're not going to follow through. So after a while, who wants to disappoint yourself? Who wants to be upset with yourself? Why even bother to set a new standard for this year? You know it's going to be the same as last year.
Many of us don't act because we want other people's approval. We want everybody to like us and to accept us. And that's not possible. Many of us don't do the things that we want to do and don't act because of lack of self-confidence. We don't believe enough in ourselves.
There's no denying that inside of you, the only thing that's going to make you happy in the year ahead and the decades ahead is going to be having you have an experience where on a regular basis, you feel like your life is making progress. So it's got to be a vision that's compelling. Something that you know it's going to be a gift to make sure that it happens.
If you want to do anything worthwhile in life, you've got to be hungry. And so I started working to develop myself. He said, I want you to practice every day being a disc jockey. I said, but I don't have any job now. He said, it doesn't matter. He said that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. No excuse that if you decided that you're going to do this, if it becomes hard, then do it hard. If it's difficult, so what?
Beginning of the year, we have this tradition, but it goes beyond tradition. It's something inside of us that makes us want to make things better. And I think part of it is the calendar gives us this idea that we can have a fresh start, that we can start from fresh and have this great victory. And it's really, the calendar itself is quite arbitrary. It's wonderful to use it, but if you didn't use it effectively, let's use the calendar to serve you today. Let's just see, what does it really take to make this thing happen? Because there's no denying that inside of you, the only thing that's going to make you happy in the year ahead and the decades ahead is going to be having you have an experience where on a regular basis, you feel like your life is making progress.
Just think, what would your life be like if you decided to keep your commitments? It is important in the area of motivating yourself, it's important to know why you're doing it. Because that mind will say, why bother? Why go through all this? This is too hard. No, throw in the towel. It's not worth it.
If you make the change in yourself, you're going to be proud this year, and no amount of money or accolades from other people can mirror the feeling of being proud of knowing you've taken back control of your life, or you've taken a great life to another level. Because once you do that, you have something you can give other people, whether it be your kids or your friends or your family, and ultimately that's what life's about.
But I tell you, there are some times in life where you fall down and you feel like you don't have the strength to get back up.
There comes a time when the blankness of future is so extreme, it is such a black wall of nothingness. Not even of bad things. It's not like there's a cave full of monsters that you're afraid of entering the future. It is just nothingness. The néant, as the French would say, la vide, the void, the emptiness. And it is just horrible. It's horrible to contemplate a futureless future, if that isn't too impossible. And so you just want to step out of it, to step out of the whole race, the whole business. The monstrosity of being alive overwhelms you.
I thought, what kind of purpose do I have to live? I mean, are you just here to live to die? I mean, is there not a purpose for me? Is there not a purpose in life? And I had questions and no answers. And I asked my mum and dad, why did this happen? I asked doctors, why did this happen? They don't know. There are some things in life that are out of your control that you can't change, and you got to live with. The choice that we have, though, is either to give up or keep on going.
The very first thing I want to offer you is empathy. I understand that the feeling is real. This idea that you want to just do an end, put an end to the entire game of life. So, beyond my empathy and my care for you, my heart going out to you, I want to offer you this, that there's a law. There's a law in nature, which is that of seasons, right? So, in the wintertime, it's cold, right? It's freezing fucking cold in the wintertime, especially if you live in, like, the north. And it could be so cold that you're miserable. If a man was so cold and miserable that he decided that perhaps I should kill myself because this freezing cold misery is not worth living in, someone might offer him the idea that, or remind him of the law that, dude, this is like, you've got maybe another 6 weeks, you've got maybe another 8 weeks, and then spring's coming. Man, it's just the way it is. Things cycle through. It's just a season. Right now, I understand it's freezing cold and you feel horrible and you feel pretty bad about the situation, but hang in there.
70% of illnesses on the planet, all kinds, are self-created. You are able to generate substantial amount of intense emotions and thoughts, but in the wrong direction. You are generating thoughts and emotions which work against you, not for you. You think it's your right to throw tantrums? You think it's your right to get angry with people? You think it's your privilege to be depressed so that you'll get attention from somebody? You keep playing this. One day you will not be able to turn back.
What is it that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose? Because once you find that, it puts you in your power place. See, if you know what your life work is, I encourage you to start working on it. If you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it. And if you don't know what it is that you showed up to do, if you don't know why you're here, I encourage you to find out what your purpose is here. What is the meaning of your life? What will be different? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I've done that. I remember coming from a friend of mine's funeral and I was reflecting on how much time I had left. And I went for a walk in a park thinking about this guy whose life was so promising. And I mean, he wasn't an old guy. He was quite young, in fact. And I thought about all of the things that he said he was going to do, and he never got a chance to do those things. And I started thinking about my own life and how much time I had left to do the things that I would like to do. And at that time, I wasn't sure what my life purpose was, what my life's work was. I wasn't sure about it at that time. And I thought about it quite a lot. I had some idea, but I wasn't convinced. I don't think I felt worthy. I didn't believe that it could be me to do this kind of work that I'm doing right now. And I say to you that if you begin to take a conscious effort to find out what it is that you're supposed to do, I say that it can literally save your life. I said that it can literally save your life. 85% of the American public, according to recent studies, are going to jobs that they hate, working on jobs that do not challenge them. They get sick thinking about going. Because, see, when you go to a job and you already know how far you can go, you can already see that proverbial glass ceiling. See, when you're going someplace and you already know how much you're going to make, you already know how far you can go, you're in a dead-end position. It erodes your self-esteem. It lowers your sense of yourself. It creates some inner turmoil. It creates an emptiness in you.